All right, good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Um, it's a brand new week and it's a brand new day. It's Tuesday, and let's see what the market has in store for us. Give me 1 second over here as I adjust my other screen and see what we can do with the market today. All right, dollar index, we are bearish, not for long term but near term we are bearish. We are looking for continuation to the downside. I'm anticipating a move to trade here. All right, so going forward we are looking for a continuation to the downside, and this morning I was actually we are looking for buys on the foreign currencies. They did move like literally from 5 till now, and I think 9 o'clock we're getting some kind of a pullback, because dollar did rebalance this gap here right there. Okay, it did rebalance that's why it's pulling back, but I think overall it's going to continue going down. So we're going to anticipate a continuation to the downside. Now what will make me wrong is if we come back and trade, if we close back above the high that has been formed today. All right, so if they trade back above the high that has been formed today, then I'm no more interested in longs on the foreign currencies, and I'll probably wait till dollar gets into somewhere up here or the H4 imbalance over there. But as long as we are below that low, I'm still looking for continuation to the downside. Euro, that will translate to euro continuing to going up. I think we might close in this gap here on the weekly time frame, so we have a little bit room to the upside. So any retracement, I don't think that now is the right time to enter a trade. The entry time is gone. 9:30 entry time is gone. You have to wait till the New York session. The ideal entry time would be between 7:30. That's when the entry is very optimal, because that's when the market is going to start moving. All right, but now because we've moved above previous day's high, you don't want to be buying there. I mean, you can if you want to. You're just gonna endure some kind of a drawdown, right? So maybe New York session might pull back into this area, or probably back to this old high, which is that auto block on the H4, and then we will see price try to move into that level. British pound. So this morning I was watching British pound, and I still think it's gonna go up. The reason why you see this drop here is nothing else but almighty euro pound making a move to the upside. So I think it's providing a very good opportunity to go long. I anticipated it going long from here. I did not anticipate what's happening right now. Okay, like on euro pound, I did not anticipate that. I was actually looking for it to retrace into this before going up there, but they decided to push it up. I think if you watch this area, right, let me draw a line there. I think it's gonna trade to that, and once we get there, British pound should move back up again. I think this is just a pullback. You have relative equal high. Let me remove this for now so you can see. We have relative equal high, previous day's high is still intact, and it's trading down. So I think it's coming for a pullback inside this imbalance in here, back to this old high. All right, back to that old high there. That's where you want to anticipate a buy to go back up again. I'll be surprised if we don't get any kind of reaction up in here, and then once we get that, then you can jump onto British pound and start looking for potential buy, right? Or you can wait for at least a 15 minutes to give you a swing low, and then you can anticipate price rejecting and coming back up again for that equal high. All right, so wait patiently, let it do what it's doing. I don't think it should go through this imbalance, so wait patiently, and then let 15 minutes where is it gone? Let 15 minutes put in a swing low, and then you can anticipate and move back up to that high. All right, I don't know whether whether it's news related. I'm not sure, because that move looks like it's a news related. Yeah, it is news related, which flash service PMI. I don't see any high impact news, apart from if you go to Forest Factory and you check the news section, you have UK private sector growth slams to its weakest since the winter 2021. So that is the news out there. I think that's caused this massive move, but like I said, I don't think this is market related. It's just news, so it providing a retracement, right? So anticipate it to reject, to come back for this equal high. I think that's what might happen. You can also watch that candle's low right there. So this candle's high and that candle's low, I will anticipate a reversal. Okay, that candle's low, I will anticipate a reversal in here. Okay, and if it does reject, right, that equal high and this equal high is going to be the draw on liquidity. All right. Okay, New Zealand, I'm expecting price to go up on this one as well. My target is back to this low, so this is a pullback for me, or on this lower time frame it's a pullback for me. I think it's gonna go back up again, so I'm looking for a buy. It did what I was anticipating, in terms of when the market is bullish, I want it to drop down first, and we had that. So I'm looking for price to now go up. Okay, maybe during the New York session, because the dollar is pulling back inside this area, right? So New York session might see a continuation to the upside, so you want to watch the New Zealand. I think let's go to the 1 hour time frame. You actually have an auto block here, right? So hopefully that should stay. If they do go lower, we are still inside this imbalance in here, so you can see where I have my potential entry. That will still be valid to continue going up as long as we are inside this. All right, so anticipate price going back up, and that's where I'm targeting. All right, Aussie, same thing. As long as we are inside this I'm looking for price to go and attack this equal high. That's yesterday's high. Right, I'm looking for price to go and attack that, and if we get that, for this week, I'm not terribly bullish on this pair. I keep mentioning that since last week. The reason being, this week usually sees the Aussie going into some form of a pullback if dollar is bullish. I'm sorry, it's going into some form of a massive drop if dollar is bullish, but if dollar is bearish, then the movement on this is going to be more of a sideways market. So inside this imbalance, I'm expecting it to go back up again today, maybe during the New York session. So it's all going to depend on how dollar is going to react off from this imbalance. I think this one was kind of spook or scare a lot of people. It's a little bit scary to see it do that when we are bearish, but it's good because then it's providing a pullback on the foreign currencies. Unless you are bold to buy it, you will not, right? So you just have to make a decision you want to buy it as it's pulling back. Okay, dollar CAD actually have a short limit up here. I'm targeting this low. We did fail to get there, but I'm still looking for that. So let's see if price can get there, and then I will anticipate a move back down to this low and to that low and that low. Okay, so dollar CAD, we are looking for bearish price action, and we are looking to sell up in here. This is actually a trade idea that I've shared with everyone in the community, so you can also have that trade as well if you want to. Okay, so we are looking for price to reject and continue going lower. There you go. Wow, that is some kind of a move. I did not anticipate this coming. I did anticipate it if we had closed above, or I was anticipating it if we had closed above this high yesterday. Right, if we did close above this high yesterday, then I would have anticipated price going up, but because we didn't, I was anticipating a kind of a consolidation in here. So when I woke up and I saw this move after taking out this high, you can see why I was looking for a consolidation, because price is just stuck in that range. Right, that range there. So once it went above it yesterday and it started rejecting, I was anticipating a move back down, and you can see what has happened. They've sent it up, and to be honest, the higher time frame was calling for it anyway. We just didn't anticipate it today, and they have given it. It's good that it's happening, because then we know going forward where price is trying to reach for. And I think prior to this week here, right, when that week was trading, I identified where price is trying to trade to, which is somewhere up in here. So with this movement, it actually confirms that, you know, they are trying to reach for that. So it gives the opportunity to look for longs going forward. Okay, so, you know, do not despair if you are not inside that move. It's gonna give a pullback and you will find an entry, because the target or where I think it's trying to reach for is back up here. Okay, so that's a long way to go. All right, and this is just initial movement, so we're gonna anticipate pullbacks and then we look for buys to continue going up there. For now, do not chase this because it's gonna face with a bit of resistance up in here. Right, with that last up candle over there, it might kind of reject, and you don't want to buy there and then sit in that drawdown. Okay, if they if they close above that imbalance, right, above that, then that same area should act as right now it should reject, but if they go above it, especially if they trade above this, then I will anticipate them coming back. Let me use something else. Okay, so if they go above this high, I will anticipate them coming back into that same area and then send it higher. So don't chase where it is now. Wait, it might pull back down, maybe back to this high here, and then that can give you a potential trade to continue going up. Or you wait for them to go above this high, and then that small gap there, you want to hunt for buys there. All right, you can see dollar is rejecting that, so it might resume going lower, and euro should continue going up to there. The next one is gold. So gold, yesterday we anticipated price going back up again, back to this high, or back to this last up candle, and the level we anticipated it trading from, it's this imbalance, right? So remove that. That's exactly what we have this morning. We traded back down to it yesterday, and you can see this is the trade that I'm actually in. And that was my entry, and my stop is below that. Okay, now why did I enter here? Why didn't I just buy when it dipped in? I didn't buy when it dipped in because when price trades to that imbalance, I want to see if it has does it have willingness to move away from it. Instead of me buying the falling knife, I want to see some kind of a rejection first, and that's what I had here. So once it did leave and left that imbalance again, I placed a buy limit there, and then I left my stop loss down there, and I'm anticipating price to move to here. All right, so today I woke up and I got filled. Yeah, I was happy with that one, not this. I'm happy with that candle. When that candle closed, I was like, there you go. And now we've seen some kind of a retracement. So it is what it is. We will see. I think that can also be another entry if you want to join that movement to the upside. If it touches that high, you want to buy that to continue going up. The only downside to it is that, you know, you've missed the ideal entry and you get exposed to a bit of a bigger stop. If you go here, it's still okay. It's just that if they go below that and then reject and goes back up, you know, you're gonna suffer that thing where it stops you out and it goes in your favor. I don't think it should, because if it does even go down there, I might consider closing the trade, because I wouldn't want price to come back down here. All right, so as long as we're above this down candle, I'm looking for 1866. All right, crude oil, I'm looking for price to trade back above this, and over here that high into that small little imbalance over there. That's my draw on liquidity on oil. I think first of all here, then there, and because they are very close to each other, you know, I'm thinking that's equal high, so there. All right, that's what I'm expecting, and the reason is simple. Price is making high highs, higher lows. All right, so I'm looking for price to go up. On the weekly time frame, it's kind of a little bit sideways, but you know, I'm using some logics to look for that as the draw on liquidity. Okay, so as long as that logic is still in play, I'm looking for higher prices. Okay, so there you go, that's what I'm expecting. Let's see what price will give us. My entry, or what I will look for entry, which I gave them yesterday, was down here. If we trade into that, you can see it. I don't have to draw it, that imbalance there. That will be first where I'll consider buying long. On the 15 minutes, there's one down here that I'm also interested in. That if we go through the first one on the 1 hour, I'm also interested in this to go back up again. Okay, so it's optimal trade entry relative to this range, but the first one is just at 50%, which, you know, I'm not gonna take with my full risk. Right, risk will be divided into two, half here and then half down there. If this get filled and go up, no problem. It will give another opportunity somewhere in here. If we make a new high, it will provide another buying opportunity. If it doesn't, no problem, at least you get a trade. But if it does come lower, then the other half of that risk will be entered down here, and I'll look for a move back up. Now, yes, it's all fine because it's making high highs and higher lows. The downside to it is we have this on the daily time frame, which is a very strong level. Okay, that's what this trade is faced with. It's faced with that, which you might not see it if you trade if you use this, you might not see it there because it's just a down candle, right? So if you're using the CFD, then you might not see it there. You're not going to see it there, it's not there. But if you're using your futures to do analysis, it is there. So there's a reason why price is struggling here, right? And that is because of that. Okay, so that's the downside to this trade, where it's faced with some kind of resistance up here. Now if you drop down to the lower time frame, it's all in, it boils down to this, that one there, here. Okay, that. So if price goes above that, then I think we will see that two levels that I've given traded to. So with the long, right, my main objective is for price to manage to go above this. Once we do that, I will anticipate a retracement to it for a potential buy. So on the 1 hour, if it trades here and it makes a move above that, I'll use this area as a potential entry again to continue going up. All right, so that's the current narrative on crude oil. On the H4, if I don't get the entry and this moves up and breaks it, that's very good, because then that area will support price and send it higher, and you can use that area for a buy. Okay, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I was looking for a close above, especially Bitcoin. I was looking for a close above this down candle here, and once if I get that, then I will anticipate a move back up here. I think it's stuck in a consolidation. Yesterday gave a big drop, so let me reanalyze it, because I didn't see this. I've not looked at it since yesterday. So alright, bear with me guys, it's raining like crazy. Let me make sure that my window is closed. All right, I'm back. So with yesterday's candle, it might attack these lows. It looks like that's what it's gonna do. It might attack this low. What time did that happen? Okay, no wonder I didn't see it, because I was playing with my son till he slept and I slept as well. So I didn't see none of that. It looks like it's gonna attack these lows here. Okay, and then once it does it, we will see what it's gonna do. So previous week low, that's what it looks like it's going to attack. So if you trade it, that's your target. Ethereum, same thing, nice equal lows down here. So if you trade it, that's what I think is gonna attack. But pay attention to this candle here. All right, that one there. If you see price close above it on a daily basis, that will change the market direction to the upside. Okay, so keep an eye on it, or just draw an alert, have an alert above that crossing up. And you can do the same thing for Bitcoin. This down candle here, crossing up. Ugh. It does that all the time. Crossing up. There you go. So if price comes back above this, I'll be looking for a move up here. Let's go back and look at the British pound. Okay, so they have taken out that previous day's low, and you can see it's already rejecting, and the imbalance is 10 o'clock has been closed in. That doesn't look good for me. I would have rather want it come back above come back above it. That doesn't look good for the longs. It can do it because this is considered as immediate rebalance, but I would rather prefer that they don't close that imbalance in, right? That's not a good sign of potential buy, in my opinion. Maybe it might retrace, but yeah, I don't see it. It can go back up to there, and we'll see if it does go through it. So watch this imbalance in here, that one, right? Do we go above it? Okay, because that is within that H4. Let me do a back. Right. Okay, see that imbalance there? That was the one that existed before. Inside that is this one here. Okay, so if we are bullish, then price should reject the H4 one. Right, it's okay if they go through this, but it should reject the H4 one. But if they close the H4 one in, this one will act as some form of a resistance level, and price will find it hard to go through that. So for price to go back up again, we will need price to trade and close above the same area here. On that side, we need to close back above it, then we might see price come back up again. All right, so we will see. Let me play that. There you go. That's the current candle. All right, let's go back to what is an imbalance. Okay, an imbalance, a gap. It's a gap. This is a gap. It has so many names. That one there. It's the same thing on the H4. Right, and on the Euro Pound, same thing on the H4 up here. Right, which is what I said is gonna reject. Let's look at the dollar CAD. Okay, dollar CAD is coming up. Cool. Right, let's go on to these pairs. So Aussie Yen, I think you all know I've been bearish. I'm looking for lower prices. I still think that's the case, so I'm looking for lower prices on this. I've actually been monitoring this since, like, because I did stay up till 3 o'clock this morning, and I've been watching it do all this business. Sorry, from here. So I slept early and I woke up like 12, and I couldn't sleep again till 3. So I was awake looking at all this. Now the reason why I was paying attention to this is because I have interest in based on the weekly time frame. I was looking for price, or I was anticipating price to go above this high, above that high, and then give me a rejection like it's doing now. But I wanted it up there, and if it did go crazy, and which it shouldn't, if it did go above that, then I'll sell short straight away. If price ever went up here, that will give me, like, sit there and just hit the market, go for a market entry sell. But it didn't do that because it shouldn't. So the main one was this one here, and then give a rejection so I can sell short, but I didn't do it. So I have this low, which is Monday's low, as now my kind of what's the word, I'm looking for price to give me a trade idea after we close below that, because then that will confirm 1 2 3 a swing high. Then I'll be looking for price to trade for this low and then that low and that low. So today I want to see price close bearish like this, and then going into tomorrow that will offer a potential move to the downside, right? So you can keep an eye on that. Look at this imbalance that is being created right now. It should stay like that, especially happening during this London session, right? It should stay like that, and that should offer a potential trade to attack all these lows here. That looks like a phantom trend line. All those trend line traders that right there, I don't know how they do it, but they still do it. There's still a lot of people that do it. There you go. Right, so they might anticipate price hitting this to go up. Well, we want that to be attacked here. Okay, so the daily will be the where the narrative is. We want price to do what? Close below this low. If it does on a H4 basis, that's enough. I would prefer the daily, right? I would prefer the daily, but if they do close below it on the if they close below it on a H4 basis, that's enough. I can use that to look for the sell. Okay, your draw is down here with this equal low being an objective. This equal low here. Okay, also the New Zealand yen, and this actually did what I was expecting the Aussie yen to do, which was to go above the previous week high, right? And then it's giving that reaction. So this is what I was looking for the Aussie yen to do, but I did it on the New Zealand yen. So again, you're watching this last up candle here for price to close below it on a daily basis or H4. Okay, and then once you get that, again you have your trend line traders here, this low equal low and that low as a draw on liquidity. All right, it looks like dollar is rejecting that level. Let's go back. Okay, that was, I think, immediate rebalancing, so we should see it continue going down. And okay, so on the 1 hour basis, the euro has created a new imbalance. So if price dips into that, that will give you a potential long to continue going up. This one, like I said, might struggle. You can't buy it because it's at a very deep, deep discount. You can buy it, but don't buy and hold it blindly. Okay, be aware of this imbalance. All right, be aware that that is there. That if you see, let's say you bought here, right, price has rejected the low, you bought there, and the price goes up and it's struggling, don't hold on to it, because if it has to go up, it shouldn't reject that level. It should just go through it. So if you buy and it's struggling to go above that, then you might want to collapse the trade, right? Or if you buy here to there, that's a bit of a move. You can take partial and then leave the rest. If it goes above it, use that same area as resistance and then buy again to continue going up. Let's go back to that. New Zealand yen, you look for the same thing that I mentioned on the Aussie. Okay, I Card Swiss, that was a pair that we were looking to sell short yesterday, and I was looking for that. When I saw it, this was what price was doing. I think this was what price was doing. So price was still here. So I was looking for this as today's entry. All right. So this is a 2 o'clock candle. It closed at 6. So at 6, it created, at the close of that candle, it created another one, which I did not anticipate it dropping from there. I still wanted that. And then that 6 o'clock candle traded into that, and then you can see what it's done so far. So that's a missed trade for me, but that's fine. I don't have to get every entry. So that, I think, is gonna go here. That was a level for targeting purposes, not a reversal area. Here there's a, I think, an imbalance on the 1 hour time frame. There is. So that was a target with that trade, right? But overall, I think it's gonna trade here. It's gonna trade here. So there's still room to the downside. We have small gap here, right? You can use that as an entry. Now, I trade gaps. I don't trade auto blocks. I use the auto blocks and look for gaps within that, and I trade it. So I trade mainly gaps or imbalances, if you care to know, right? Once you know what these imbalances are or these gaps are, you will fall in love with them. Okay, so we're looking for 7499 as a target, and then the main draw is on the daily, that imbalance there, and this equal low. Okay, so those are the downside objectives. You're looking for price to trade here and there. Okay, and this can be an entry. If you use that, I think you can leave your stop loss above this candle's high, this H4 candle's high, because if they go above this, it might reject again. But if they do go above that, that's no good. All right, so you're selling that imbalance, leave your stop loss above here, there as you draw on liquidity. So pretty much that's this three. Let's look at this Euro New Zealand, and because yesterday I was looking at it thinking we might get price to come back down one more time to dip deeper into that before we set the stage to come back up again, and I was proved wrong. They broke market structure, so I think we'll be trading up here and make one more run, I think, above this high. Okay, I think it's gonna make one more run above that high, and we will see what it will do after that. I like the idea of it trading to this candle. Okay, so I won't say long time, but in the near, between now and probably second week of June, I like the idea of price going up here. Right now, if you look closely, we have consolidation here, and then we have all this move, and then we have one down candle here, which was an inside candle. So this, in my opinion, it's a reaccumulation day week, which they bought more. So if it's gonna go back up, then it's gonna attack this high, and I don't think it will end there. You might want to reach higher. This is your last up candle prior to all this move down, so I think it might reach for that. So going forward, you can look for buys on Euro New Zealand and Euro Aussie. It's the same narrative. Okay, on Euro Aussie, it actually has equal highs up here, so you can target that equal high and be happy with that. Okay, it's optimal trade entry as well on the daily time frame. So buy. Look at this auto block here. If you retrace to it, you want to buy it. All right. Last week was a very difficult one. Right, you can see how they consolidated quite a lot in here, and all this while, I've been telling my people we're looking at this equal high. I wanted it to trade back down to this one and then go up, because if I pull the fib, I think we did not trade to 618. Let's see. I think we did not trade to 618. There we go. See, we did not trade to 618. So I did wanted to see a little bit more to the downside before going back up, and it didn't do that. That's fine. They've shown willingness to go up anyway. So next, any pullback you get, you want to buy it. Any pullback you get, you want to buy it. Okay, let's go back and check the British pound again. Okay, it is going back. Let's see how it will react in that. The Aussie and the New Zealand. Right. I like the idea of New Zealand giving this candle. Okay, I don't like Aussie. I like this one. I like the idea of New Zealand giving this candle. Right. Now, something that those that if you're watching from YouTube, because my private members, they already know this, or if I say it, they're gonna know. We have price going up, right? Let me turn off this. It doesn't exist anymore, so I'm keeping it. Price going up. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1 day down candle, right? That's a reaccumulation. It's a buy more day, and the next day, boom, we go back up. It's trying to do something similar, right? It's either, okay, today it rejects and goes up and make a new blue candle, or it's gonna stay like this, because it's a little bit more technical, because they are manipulating this pair to move. This is NZD. They are manipulating this pair to move this one. All right, they are manipulating that pair to move this one. So if that's the case, then this might today end up being a down candle. If it doesn't, it should reject and go all the way back up to trade above this and to trade here. Okay, so it's an opportunity where we are now for longs, like I mentioned. If it goes deeper, then here it shouldn't. I prefer leave some of that gap open, and then we look for price to go back up again. Like I said, it can stay like this, and then this will be a down candle. Tomorrow it will have this and that as a fair value gap on the daily, and then that can be used to send price higher. All right, so I'm coming back to it because dollar has rejected. and that was an immediate rebalance, which looks very scary, but it is what it is. So these two, I've given you where price is trying to reach for. Okay, on Euro New Zealand, the imbalance in here, we do have high resistance there, so you might want to target the imbalance up here for partial, and then leave the rest to see if you go above that high. On Aussie is equal, so you can target that equal, so you can make a decision based on what I just said, whether you want to trade this one or that one. Okay, pound Aussie, I've mentioned it to my group to stay away because it's stuck in a range, right? So don't touch it. Same thing applies to this one. Don't touch it because it's stuck in a range. I don't like the way it's coming down. Now I still believe that it should make a new high somewhere up in here, either here or there. I still believe that should be the case. So I'm treating everything that's happening here as a pullback. Okay, I'm treating everything that's happening here as a pullback. Now, because it's a pullback, it can trade into discount. So relative to this high and that low, right, it can trade to discount, which is somewhere down here. Okay, so if you do trade there, we can still reject and come back up again. Do you go in and sell short? I don't think so. You should. All right, I don't like the way it's moving, so you shouldn't. Now look at this, not that one, this one, right? If you try to sell short in here, you are going to sweat for your money, because anytime it goes down, it comes right back up again, right? And then price then rejected. Same thing can happen to this. Anytime it goes down, it comes right back up again, down, back up again, back up again. So I don't think you should be selling, but you can anticipate the buy, so you can go with the long, because price is, I think, is still bullish. Right now, it might just keep doing this, back down again, and then all of a sudden, big move. All right, and if it's going to happen, I would love this one, because that has moved up significantly already. This is still down here, so that is yet to catch up with the grounds that this has covered. So if we do get that, which there's a specific time that I'm a specific day, specific day that I'm anticipating it. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you, but once that day comes, I'm gonna look for price to give me that push. All right, so there you go. Let's go back and see what you're up to. EJ, let's have a look at EJ. I've got the next, I'll say the next 10 minutes. I'll stay at least 5 minutes for questions. Euro Yen. Okay, that's not bad. Oops, that is not bad. That is not bad. So that also took out that previous week high. So I think it's the same narrative with Aussie Yen and New Zealand Yen. Wait for confirmation. All right, they've cleared that high, setting up potential high of the week. Wait for, that is interesting. Went into that one. Yep. Wait for this up candle to give up on the daily time frame. You can sell short, but if you do, you are I'm not saying, the keyword is you're not asking for trouble, but it's scary because the daily hasn't confirmed it wants to go down. Okay, the daily hasn't confirmed it wants to go down. It's still a potential buy, but because it's taking out liquidity on the weekly time frame, the idea is should reject, but let them show you with an imbalance. Notice that price went up here, right, leaving an imbalance. So if it's going to be a rejection, the confirmation should be with a gap. I'll keep, for those of you watching on YouTube, especially the guy that, I don't know whether you're a guy or a lady, asking what is an imbalance. I'll use the imbalance and the gap interchangeably because to me it looks the same. So this is an imbalance or a gap, right? Once it has attacked that previous week high, the confirmation of price moving back down will be the imbalance. So you have to wait till it creates that imbalance. Then you can confirm that they took out this high and it was a run-on stop. If you go short now, it's like it's going to create it, so you're going to go in and anticipate it. All right, there's a difference. You knowing that it's going to create it, and then you take your chances that it's going to create it, therefore you go short and then it'll create it. Or you know that it's going to create it, but you want it to be created first before you go in. Hence, you're gonna sit on your hands and wait till it creates some form of an imbalance, and then you go in looking for the sell. Okay, so that's what you want to do with this, because where it's now based on the daily, there's nothing that shows that it's gonna come back down. At the moment, as it is right now, there's nothing that shows that it's gonna come back down. Especially looking at the lower time frame price action. I think probably GJ will be the better one. There you go. GJ will be the better one because that's showing willingness to drop, and it's actually bearish on this one more than it is on the euro. Right, so maybe you might want to consider GJ because GJ did struggle to go above the previous week high. It's an inside candle. We have a bearish order block here. Price traded into imbalance over there. Last up candle, bam, creating an imbalance, right? So you preferably, if you want, then go for this one instead of the euro yen. Okay, all right, I'm going to look at the Nasdaq because someone did ask, and then that will be it, unless someone asks for something else. Let's go back and check what these bad boys are up to. There you go. So it actually tried and it's rejecting. We will see. The euro pound is also rejecting that, so that should give a bit of strength for pound if it starts coming back down. Let's go and do Nasdaq and then we'll be done. So on Nasdaq, right, let's see. I don't like Nasdaq. I don't like Nasdaq because that is an inside candle. I don't like trading inside candles on the next day if it doesn't have a close anywhere, right? Notice that we don't have a close above this nor below that, and then we have an inside candle. I don't like that. I would trade an inside candle if there is a direction that I can anticipate. Ooh, hang on. Go back and check. Okay, I'm watching the percentage change all the time. That's the thing that I watch all the time, the percentage change, because once you see them changing so quick, you know something is popping. The inside candles, inside day candles, I like trading them when there is like a directional premise to it, where let's go to S&P. So we have an example. Let's just this one. I want to see if I can find an example of an inside day. Okay, this one here. All right, this is an inside day, right? Where this candle is within that and that. But notice that this candle here it closed above that one. All right, so when I have an inside day with this candle like this, then it's tipping the hands that we will be coming back up again. So that inside there is going to be a down candle. If I turn this one off, it's going to be a down candle, right? So because of that, I anticipate a run back up here, and then I look up and see if there is any liquidity that price is trying to reach for on the upside, which is why it's giving an inside day. So when we have that condition, then I will trade the next day anticipating a long. Okay, but what we have now on Nasdaq, it's not like that. Okay, this is an inside day, but we don't have a close above nor below, so it's kind of tricky which side the market, what to me right now, it's kind of tricky which side the markets really want to go. And I don't want to kind of speculate or give you false information. So I don't know which side it wants to go for. So I wouldn't be able to tell you it's gonna go up here or it's gonna go down here. It will have to do it, and then I will know. Okay, so I don't know which side it wants to trade as it is now. I think maybe after taking out this low, it probably might trade back up. That's what I would say based on the previous day's low. I think if he wants to trade anywhere, it probably might trade back up because it's not trending now for the last 3 days. So if he's taking that low, it might come back up. Let's go and check. I'm going to check the gold. Okay, look at gold. Gold traded to that and rejection. Can we look at New Zealand CAD? Of course we can look at New Zealand CAD. Let's go look at New Zealand CAD. Okay, what is New Zealand CAD doing? It looks like it's gonna attack long term. It's gonna attack this low. It's gonna attack this low. So high time frame direction is bearish. Now right now I think it's traded to something. If it's not something, then it's just pulling back. Okay, I think it's just pulling back. So, oops, not that. I will probably anticipate them to trade somewhere here. That is going to depend on how we trade today, because they have gone above previous week high, like that one. I'm sorry, down candle here. That usually in a bearish trend sets the stage for another movement to the downside, which will be a redistribution, right? Down, 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 up, 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 and then down, 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 down again. So today is a very crucial day because of this high being run. That high being run yesterday and rejection. I'll use the daily, right? If they close below this on a daily basis or H4 basis, I think it's gonna come back down here and here. All right, if they close below this on a daily or H4 basis, I think it's gonna come down here and there. Right now it looks to me that it might want to trade and bump into this candle's low with the seasonal tendency confirming a potential retracement on New Zealand. That's why I'm going with that. Okay, but I'm open. I don't have any position on it. If you want to have any position, then the right one would be to buy it as it is right now, to buy it to go up a little bit more. Probably target somewhere up here. Okay, but this is the line in the sand. You want price to, if it's gonna go there, it goes here and close. Once you see that, that will be the change in the state of delivery, and you can look for sales to continue going down, and you have yourself a market maker sell model here. Okay, I'm going to check the dollar again. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? Because if there's no more questions, then I am gonna go and do some back testing and do some learning, because I am definitely onto some things in price, so I want to make sure that I back test them really well, so when I talk about it, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, it seems that I've exhausted all the questions, so thank you very much for being here. I appreciate all of you. I will see you, those on YouTube, I'll see you on Thursday, which will come in a blink of an eye, because it does. And for those of you in the private group, I will see you within the next 3 to 4 hours. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day. Stay blessed, and I will see you very soon. Take care.